folks, Katrin here with Maplewood Dog, and in this video clip we're going to talk about and see how to get a dog comfortable wearing winter snow boots. So one of my remote online clients had reached out to me as she was struggling to get her Labrador comfortable wearing his boots, and so through our online lesson I was able to give her various kinds of feedback to help him get to the point where in just a couple of short sessions he was able to be comfortable wearing his boots without, the high stepping flip-flop, hackney gait that is so classic for dogs who are not comfortable wearing their winter snow boots. And especially as now we're in, deep in the winter here. Today it was -14 with wind chill here in Massachusetts, and this particular client is out in New York, where they've just had a couple of blizzards. So for her, getting her dog really comfortable and acclimated to his snow boots, it was really important for her to be able to not only exercise him safely outside, but so she can continue some of her training exercises that she's doing. So the first video clip that you're going to see is the baseline video she sent me asking for help. And in it you can see how really not comfortable he is with the boots on his feet. He's not sure what to do about them, and she's not sure as to what the next steps she should take are either.
Maybe this is a project that Auntie Katrin's supposed to help us with. Auntie Katrin, we might need help with this project. Okay, what do you think? What a good boy! Here's some cookies. Yeah. It goes like this, buddy. There you go. Yeah. You got it. Come on. Yeah. Come here, buddy. Yeah. Oh, Jenny, you're breaking my heart. Good.
So after watching that baseline video that she had sent me, I immediately gave a couple of suggestions. One was, for the vast majority of dogs, if you start with their front feet, you are going to get a dog who's uncomfortable when you start trying to get them comfortable with boots, because dogs put about 60% of their body weight on their front end, and most dogs, when things are on their front feet to begin with, feel really insecure about it. They're not sure how to move that way. A huge part of their locomotion off their front end has just been compromised in their minds. So one of the first things when I'm encouraging folks to get their dogs comfortable with boots is start with the rear feet to begin with, because that way your dog still has their front feet to be stable on. Most dogs acclimate a lot faster to rear feet only, giving you a higher chance of rate of reinforcement. Alright, so a second initial suggestion that I gave this client and would give to anybody starting boots is you want to mark and reinforce to start with every single time your dog moves a booted foot. So initially, you're going to be marking and reinforcing when they move their front foot kind of funky, but just marking the fact that they were willing to move it at all seems to have a pretty positive effect for helping dogs acclimate more quickly than if you were just, for example, waiting for them to put the foot down in a particular manner, walking normally.
Okay, buddy.
Session 1, rear feet only boot training. So here she's going to ask him to sit so she can get those rear feet boot on, and this also helps to make sure, again, the dog's not so uncomfortable that they want to leave. They can always leave if they want.
Okay, buddy.
So throughout this first session, she's going to be clicking and treating him anytime he starts to move his feet. You watch at the beginning, he's a little hesitant, he's not sure how to move his feet, but as she continues to mark and reinforce the fact that he is moving booted feet, he gets more comfortable until he's starting to walk multiple steps at a time with his feet solidly on the ground.
Good. About? Good boy. Look at you in your cookie boots. Look at you. Good. Wow. Good boy. Good boy. All done. Let's do cookie boots.
Boot session number 2. Once again, she's going to work rear feet only at the session. So again, she has him, she asks him if he's ready. He does a sit, then she asks him to do it down so she can put his boots on. And then again, as they are starting the session, she's going to click and mark each time he moves a booted foot, and very quickly he once again acclimates to rear feet only and starts moving in nice, solid, multiple steps at a time.
So good. Good boy. Nice job. Good boy. Look at you in your cookie boots. Good job, buddy. Wow, look at you. Should we do another one? Okay, let's do. Ready? Good boy. Oh, Hershey wants to play cookie boots. Hershey wants to play cookie boots. Let's say hi, Hershey. Hi, Hershey. Do you want to play cookie boots?
Okay, so at this point, now that he's comfortable on rear feet only, she's going to have him do some position changes, again to make sure that he feels completely comfortable moving into sits, into stands, changing direction in different ways, doing some of his tricks that he has, really making sure that those rear feet with boots are something he's completely comfortable with. Oh, he does his cute little bow trick too.
All done. Good job.
Now at this point, her dog is getting really comfortable with rear feet. He's able to turn comfortably. He's able to change positions. He's able to walk. So in the next session 3, I suggested to her start with him on the rear feet only, since that's a new baseline we know he's comfortable with. And then after you've ascertained that he's still comfortable with that, then you're going to shift. So you're going to have one foot on a front foot and one boot on the opposite rear foot. Now, the reason to do opposing feet as opposed to same side is because it still allows a dog to have stability with the no booted front foot and opposite rear foot. So if a dog is truly, feeling insecure, they can shift their body weight so they still feel stable with, say, the left front and right rear.
Okay.
Session 3, part 1 of boot training, again starting with the rear foot only. You can see he is quickly acclimated. He stands very nicely, he moves easily, and then she's going to shift the boots around to part 2.
Okay. Look at you. You're brilliant. Wow. Good job, buddy. Good job. Nice. Good boy. Sit. Yes. Good boy. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this one off. You're so good, buddy. Okay. Let's take that one off, and let's put it in the front. Because you did a good job. Should we try the front? Thank you. What a good boy. Wow. Okay, you ready to try again? Ready to try again? I think you can do it.
So with the one boot on now his left front and one boot on his right rear, so opposing feet, she's again clicking and marking and treating every time he moves a booted foot. And you can see he's struggling a little bit more once it's on the front foot. He doesn't really want to put full body weight on. The cat comes and helps too. So she keeps this session nice and short, and then we do a little bit of troubleshooting for then her to be work differently in the final session. And one of the things I was noticing was that her dog was not willing to put full body weight on the booted front foot, which is why he was still being uncomfortable with the boot on that front foot. So I gave her the suggestion of the next session, start the session after you've got the boot on one front foot and the boot on the opposite rear foot. Start with some of your paw cues, which her dog is really comfortable with, and by asking the dog to give her the opposite unbooted paw and take that one off the ground, he now is putting his body weight on the booted paw and having to figure out that it really is stable and comfortable. So she did a couple of repetitions of that, as well as a couple of repetitions of position changes before asking him to move in that session 4. Session 4, part 1, boot training. Start with one front foot, one for rear foot, and then go into a paw cue. Now, if you also remember back in that initial baseline video, how uncomfortable he was actually having the boots put on, and here in this video he immediately hands her the paw to put the boot on, which was really nice to see that he's gotten more comfortable. So here she's going to do some position changes, and then she'll do a couple of her paw cues, make sure he's able to then shift his body weight on, especially onto that booted front paw, before then asking him to get up and start moving.
There you go. This one? Yeah! Good boy! This one again. Yay! Good boy! This one again. Yeah! Good job! Okay, I think maybe we're ready to try a walk. Okay. Yay! Good boy! Hershey's coming for the action. Good boy. I didn't have a cookie ready, I'm sorry. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good boy. Coming over here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yay! Wow.
So at this session, you can see that he gains a lot of comfort with figuring out that he can put that weight on that front foot that is booted as well as the rear foot that's booted. So at this point she's ready to put all 4 boots on her dog. Session 4, part 2, boot training, all 4 boots. So once again you can see he willingly gives her the feet to be booted, and then he's up and walking around on all 4s with boots on. He still does a little bit of that hackney step at the beginning, but as the session goes on, and again it's a very short session, he then gets more comfortable and then walking more solidly on 4 feet with limited, if hackney gait at all.
Oh, come on, buddy, you got it. Wow, come on, you got it, buddy. Wow, oh my goodness, look at her, she's giving you the evil eyes. Yes, oh, good job. Come on, yeah, come on, here we go, yeah, this way, come on. Yes, good boy. Wow, over here, sit, touch, yes, Over here. One more. Yay, good boy. All done.
So once she puts the all four boots on, again, she asks him to move, ask him to make sure he's comfortable changing positions. He definitely is. And so now she's ready to take it outside and into real life. And here we have it, from start to finish, how to acclimate a dog to be comfortable wearing outdoor boots.
Boy.
Maplewood Dog, enhancing relationships for life. www.maplewood.dog.com